Here we are. Lana's just about to take off.
I'm just checking my route, trying to avoid a road closure. So
She hasn't ridden the bike yet, and she's just going to take off for 20 minutes, half an hour, and talk about what she thinks about the bike.
it's right under there.
Yeah, make sure that's facing down.
Yep.
Choke, probably won't need it, but on is just a little touch there.
Does this need any tickling?
Give it a tickle. Yeah, so maybe I forgot that out of the process. Okay.
You got anything in there?
Try getting it on compression. Give me a go. It's gone every time for me, here.
Yeah, it's just getting used to different machines, isn't it?
Alright, I'll give it a bit of choke just because. Alright, so it's just started to rain. I hope Lana's okay out there. Just wanted to say thanks to the Classic Competition Company for loaning us this bike to ride. They do loan us a lot of bikes and they sponsor a lot of our video content, so thanks to them for that. If you're into this sort of thing and want the chance to win a bike like this or others like it, head over to their website, which is theclassiccompetitioncompany.com, and check them out.
So it feels quite powerful, this bike. We're on the Norton Dominator. It's a 1962 88, which means it's a 500cc. It's nice and smooth. Sometimes they're a bit rattly, but some goes along quite pleasantly. Something I like about the old bikes is they're all slightly different in finding how they like to start, whether they want a bit of choke, no choke, throttle and things, and what gearing it is like on them. Some are much more stiff or loose to operate, and it's interesting getting to know them. That was me looking for an extra gear that's not there. It's a remarkably easy bike to ride. Some of the older ones are tricky.
How'd you go?
Yeah, I like this bike a lot.
Do you?
I do.
I forgot to tell you to clean the lens of the GoPro.
Yeah, when I got on the bike, I didn't really have a good look about it. I obviously did check the oil and things, but I hadn't looked at the styling and things. But it's pretty smart. I like how shiny it is. I probably wouldn't like it quite so much when it comes to cleaning it, because I like riding more than cleaning, but I like it at the moment.
So this is the standard version. There's an SS, which has got rev meter, you know, more horsepower and stuff, but this is sort of like your standard model.
It's pretty smart for a standard model, isn't it?
I quite like it, yeah.
Yeah, it's got decent mudguards front and back, which also is ideal in weather like this, where it's slimy and muddy, and they're shiny, and they're in pretty good condition. It's a really good looking bike. I like that.
So you've just gone out for like half an hour.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I get on really well with the bike. I like that a lot. It's so easy to ride. Some of the older bikes, it feels like a bit of a battle getting them to go along, and you do enjoy it, but it's hard work. This is really comfortable and easy. And I was just mentioning, you could go on a long journey on it, because it's got the extra space on the back and rails and things, and it is comfortable enough that you could just carry on riding that.
The sound as well, right?
Yeah, it's a really satisfying noise as it rumbles along, and it's quite forgiving in what gearing and things. I don't know what torque it has, but it seems pretty torquey that it'll pull away, and there's the power there that it's not as powerful as a modern bike, but it's got a lot of grunt and it just feels meaningful.
Gearbox?
Gearbox is a little bit clunky, I found. I needed a little bit of time to get used to what gear I needed to be in, as with any bike. It went along really well, considering the conditions. It was sort of wet and slimy and there's leaves and mud out there. And it just trundles along. It does what it was designed for, because obviously back then, if you bought a motorbike, that was your transport. And you would have to ride it in whatever weather it was just to get about. And it felt like it was just doing its thing.
Brakes?
Brakes aren't as sharp as modern day brakes. Possibly with a bit of adjustment they could be a bit better. The old drum brakes on front and back.
You really have to ride accordingly, don't you?
You do, yeah. One thing that I noticed was it doesn't have any wing mirrors at all. I like having a wing mirror on there just so I can see what's going on, because you feel a little bit vulnerable on a bike like this, that it doesn't react as quickly, or rather even if you react quickly, it doesn't have the same acceleration or braking as modern day ones. So with a bit more visibility, it just means you can be more aware and ride accordingly. But it's just a nice feeling bike that I like the cockpit and I like the riding position. Probably change the grips, not as squishy as I might like, but it's a very comfortable bike, and it looks good too.
You look good on it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. That was so patronising.